Grandma first went to an assembly center in Portland. Before they left, they built a fire to burn their belongings because no one would take them, even though they offered them for free. Grandma remembered the faces of these porcelain dolls peering at them through the fire, refusing to burn. This image from Kyo McClear's book, It Began with a Page, reminded us of Grandma's memory.
In this children's book, Write to Me, Miss Breed, the librarian, gives penny postcards to the children on their way to the internment camps, asking them to stay in touch. One of the children writes back, telling her that they live in a horse stable. As children, we had heard about how the camps weren't ready for 120,000 people of Japanese descent, who were ordered to evacuate immediately.
My grandfather's family was transported to the Santa Anita racetracks in California. They lived in horse stalls until barracks were hastily built at 10 different locations in California, Arizona, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, and Arkansas. Grandpa said that the whitewashed surface of the horse stalls burst like blisters when touched. Here is Mika's daughter, Saya, listening to our Auntie Ruthie sharing her recollection of that experience.
We had to live in the horse stalls.
The internment of people of Japanese descent during World War II is a complex history. Land and properties were taken, families were torn apart. Before the evacuation order, prominent leaders, such as businessmen, lawyers, and reverends, were arrested and not returned to their families until after the war.
Grandpa had an older sister, Mary, who went with her husband to the Topaz, Utah camp near Delta.
Grandpa's younger sister, Ruth, whose apron I am wearing, went to the camp with the family, but left when she found a job in Chicago. Chicago was inland enough that the U.S. government didn't find it threatening.
New communities and families were created during the camp. Our grandparents met and married at Heart Mountain and had their first son, Dylan, in 1943. After the war, they were released from the camp to work on a sugar beet farm in Utah in 1945.
Some families came together and stayed together because of this experience. Grandpa had an accounting degree from Stanford, but he felt that he'd face racism wherever he went. So he became a farmer in Sigurd, Utah, and his siblings moved to Salt Lake and later California.
The experiences of the internment changed people. Mene Issei, first-generation Japanese in their 50s and 60s, relinquished family authority to their American-born sons and sometimes daughters. Our great-grandfather Sashichi was a leader in the community known for his excellent English. In pre-war times, he advocated and negotiated on behalf of others. After the war, though, he stopped speaking, and he became a dependent of his son, Charles.
Grandpa Charles would warn his children, "You think they're your friends, but they could turn on you in a second." And Auntie Ruthie, Aoki, would say to us, "Blood is thicker than water."
In 1988, 42 years after the camps were closed, the U.S. Congress passed the Civil Liberties Act. 60,000 to 80,000 camp survivors received $20,000 each. Congress also issued a formal apology for the government's policy toward people of Japanese descent in the United States.
I was in 7th grade when they got that check, 50 years later, $20,000. And it was on the coffee table for many months. And she would show it to people, family members, when they would come by. Shake her head. "Isn't that something?"
And then they split us.
Oh, they did. And some of you went to Heart Mountain, and where did the others go?
We went to Heart Mountain. They went up to Northwest. Oh, that was the saddest day.
Were people crying?
Oh, yeah. We just cried all over the place.
What did you take when you went? Did you just have one suitcase?
Just our own bodies, that's all. Then we got off the train. You know how the animals, they have a ramp they had to push the animals out. We walked the same way. Oh, we felt like dying there, really. Just like animals.
By 1946, Har Mountain was evacuated. What they had made home was dismantled. This is a brick taken from a chimney from one of the barracks at Hart Mountain. Auntie Ruthie said that she was given $25 and a train ticket anywhere she wanted, except for home. California and Oregon had yet to lift their bans on people of Japanese descent. So they did what they had done before. They moved on, set down roots, and built new communities as best they could. We are the product of their resilience, and we honor their sacrifices by studying their lives and telling their stories.
And now we challenge you to listen to their stories,
Learn about their lives,
and share those experiences with others.